We are back here on SportsLine, and we are pleased to have friend of show Brittany Jackson, the former Lady Vols basketball star, here with us in studio. We're going to talk more about this great sports drink that she's been working with as we go on in the show. I promise we'll get back to that. We will. But I wanted to talk to you before we went to break. You know, the state of women's college basketball. We talked a lot about the Lady Vols last segment, and I agree with you. I think they'll work their way into the tournament. Hopefully they can get hot at the right time and get things going. But the state of women's college basketball in the NCAA, I mean, for so many years it's been dominated either by you guys at UT or UConn. But in the last couple of years we've seen some other programs step up. You know, Notre Dame won last year on a last second shot, which was very exciting. We've seen South Carolina finally get over the hump. How good is that for women's college basketball? I know you're biased. You want the Lady Vols to win every year.
No, I think it's great. I think it's great. I mean, you know, when I came out from high school, I mean, it was Tennessee and UConn, right, like you said. I mean, it was always those two programs. I mean, and there's so much more parity in women's basketball. I mean, kids are wanting to go to other schools and play, and I think that has a lot to do with, you know, all these schools, and it's just more competitive. And I think it's great to watch. You know, I mean, I think you're getting you're getting men finally wanting to watch some women play, you know, basketball because it's more competitive. It's not just the UConn and Tennessee every year. Right. But I think it's great. I think it's great for women's basketball. Young girls that are, you know, coming up. There's other, you know, there are other schools that are competitive and they can go to and they can play. And I think it's great. I think it's really good.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, for so long it was dominated by two programs. You know, so many battles between the Lady Vols and UConn, and I know there's probably not a lot of love lost there, but what about the respect level?
Oh, yeah.
How healthy is the respect level between these two programs? Because, you know, in my opinion, without these two programs, women's college basketball, who knows where it would be right now?
Right. I mean, you know, people always, I get it all the time, you know, Gino, I know you hate Gino. Hey, I respect Gino. I mean, he's a great coach, you know. I mean, he kept me from 3 rings, but it's okay, you know. Yeah, it's just you got to respect, you know, that the Tennessee UConn, that rival is great. I mean, people ask me where's the best place you've ever played. I would say Duke. I mean, that was my favorite. I love that atmosphere. Sure. But the best rival, I mean, that Tennessee-UConn rival, I mean, it was nothing like it. And so it definitely started. But yeah, you know, you've got the South Carolina, the Notre Dame. I mean, those schools were not, you know, we killed them when I played, you know. So I mean, I think it's great that it's now that, you know, they're competitive, and it's just I think it's you know, I think it has a lot to do with kids are wanting to go and they're wanting to play their freshman year. You know, they're not. Whenever you go to a program like Tennessee and you go to a program like UConn, you know that you got to play a role. You know, you go there, you're going to play a role, and as a freshman, it's tough. I mean, you're going to probably sit there for a little bit, and you know. But kids don't want to do that anymore. You know, they want everything given to them, and so it's like, I think
these millennials these days.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. So I think, you know, it's helped, you know, the women's basketball
But also the success of these two programs. Don't you think it's made the coaches and administrators from these other programs say, hey, we have to step it up. We got to recruit better. We have to, you know, leave no stone unturned when finding the best players in the country, and letting them know that, hey, you know, you don't necessarily have to go to UT or UConn, but you could get to a Final Four. You can win a championship. I mean, I think the rivalry that you had with UConn and the fact that these two programs were so dominant, it made these other programs have to step up their game, no?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And, you know, a lot of kids, I think, are staying in their state and wanting to play for their state. You know, I mean, Pat, that's one thing that Pat never did. She never let a player get out of Tennessee. And I think that was, you know, she just, but, yeah, I mean, I think it did. It made the other programs step up and recruit and find these other players within their state as well. But it's just great. I mean, it's more fun to watch. You know, it's always, I like watching UConn get beat every now and then, you know, and but I'm
sure it didn't break your heart.
Yeah, it doesn't break my heart at all. But Yeah, it's great. It's great for women's basketball. I think women's sports in general right now for young girls, it's so exciting because they're breaking. I mean, you've got women boxing, you've got women MMA, you've got them. You know, anything the men are doing, women are doing, and I think it's great.
Serena Williams is winning Grand Slam tournaments after having a child.
Right,
I mean,
right. So I mean, it's exciting for young girls growing up. So. Yeah, it's exciting.
Well, I know you're a Lady Vol for life, but you're also, you bleed orange. You know, you love the University of Tennessee. How about what the men's team is doing this year? I know they had that tough night a couple nights ago in Kentucky. They were ranked #1 though for about a month, and now they're back down to, I believe, #5. But still, you know, steamrolling, we would assume, towards a #1 seed in the NCAA tournament, playing some good basketball. They'll get the rematch with Kentucky coming up here in a few days.
Yeah.
How impressed have you been with what the UT men's team under Rick Barnes has done?
So impressed. I mean, you know, I did not know much about Coach Barnes when he got the job, but from the get-go, I mean, so impressed with him, and he's done a tremendous job. You know, we talk about the women's and the men's program, and you know, when I was there, the men's program, you know, it wasn't doing very well. Right. You know, we were, and look, then we got Coach.
It was football and it was women's basketball.
Right, and then we got Coach Pearl, and I love Coach Pearl. You know, he got people in the stands, and that's what they were trying to do. And you know, it's just, but no, Coach Barnes has done a tremendous job, and the men's program, it's fun to watch. You know, I mean, it's just exciting that, you know, Tennessee basketball, men's basketball, it used to be awesome, and so to get that back and to see that coming back is exciting. You know, I have a lot of friends that used to play there, and to see their excitement about it too, you know, it's exciting. And so, I mean, hey, I think they can go all the way. I mean, I love them being #1. It's a hard target when you have #1 on your back, you know, and people are saying,
you would know.
Yeah, I mean, it is. When you have that #1 on your back, I mean, it's every night they're coming to play their A+ game, you know, and so they don't, you know.
And Kentucky, they played like they had something to prove the other night.
Yeah,
did you notice that?
They did, and you know, like you said, they'll play them again. I think it's March 3rd coming up. So, you know, I think they're a Final Four team. I think Tennessee is a Final Four team. I think that, you know, they play hard. Coach Barnes he's doing the right thing. I mean, they play hard for him, and so it's exciting. You know, it's exciting time. We just got to, like you said, we got to get our Lady Vols back there, get that excitement going.
Get that 1-2 punch going again.
Get that 1-2 punch, and we can. You know, we can. We got to get that back on Rocky Top for sure. The
thing that impresses me most about the men's team, obviously Grant Williams is the closest thing they have to a star. You know, he was SEC Player of the Year last year, but as good as he is, and he's very good, it's kind of like what you were talking about earlier. Everybody seems to know their role. Like Jordan Bone knows his role running the half-court offense. Schofield knows he's the energy guy. He's got to get rebounds. He's got to knock down threes. Williams is a guy that's got to control the paint. And it seems like everybody knows and understands their role. And they look, and it really looks like they have a lot of fun playing together.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, that's what I've really liked about Coach Barnes. I mean, he has them playing together so well. I mean, you can tell, like, when a team. You can tell on the floor what's going on in the locker room. I mean, it's just like you can tell that they play so well together. They're excited. They're just good teamwork, you know. I mean, and you know, I'll be the first to say, you know, I didn't watch the men that much, you know, over the years, like I said, after I graduated and stuff, and once they, you know, started going and getting going, I'm like, wow, you know, like he's really got them going, and it's exciting to watch now. And so it's, you know, it's not that I ever got, you know, disappointed in them. I just, you know,
just didn't pay as much attention.
Right, and so it's exciting, and it's exciting what they're doing, and I really do. I really think that they could be a Final Four team if they keep going and you know, keep focused, and hopefully they'll be there.
So you're making the Brittany Jackson ironclad guarantee right here on SportsLine.
They're in the Final Four.
UT to the Final Four, right? Okay, so go. Whatever happens, we're going to run this tape back. Okay, we're going to have you back on the show. We're going to run this tape back, and we'll see. Yes. We'll see if your prediction was true. All right, we're going to take one more break. When we come back, we're going to talk more about this great new electrolyte energy drink that Brittany has gotten involved in, and your phone calls as well. Stay with us. SportsLine rolls on right after this.